But you snobs out there, think you fucking high and mighty. I'm gonna get you off your high horse, especially you stuck-up motherfuckers. And sorry I have to say it, with the MF words, because I'm tired of, you crackers popping your collar like you all that and don't know how to use your fucking brain. And I tell people, there's people that use 10% of their brains and others that use 90% of their brains. The ones that use 10% of their brains are the morons and ignorant ones that you see roaming around the United States, with their hands out. And the other ones, screaming, the leftists screaming out of the top of their lungs, because they think they're better than you. So this is what's going on. I walked into the store with my homegirl. So I paid $50 for $100 of her food stamps. No matter where, who, what, no matter if I'm in the north, south, east, west, anywhere in California. And usually when they load them up, I, buy them out because they got bills they got to pay. So they sacrifice food, to pay their bills. And it's not cheap, man. Even with the 90-day tax holiday, you still got to pay fuel. You still got to pay bills. You still got to, and everything is up. So you have to make a choice. Do I pay bills? Do I feed the kids? So these are the things that, some of these people, have to do to survive. And unfortunately, most people think that, I take advantage of it. But that's the rule of the game, $50 for $100. So I went to the store, purchased, little snobs behind me talking about, woo this, woo that, look at all these, colored people always on EBT. And I turned around and I go, man, if you think smart, I'm using 90% of my brain. I'd rather spend 50 of my cash for $100 than spend $100 of my cash on junk. She turned around and looked at me like I was stupid. And I said, yeah, you heard me. While you snobbing and, popping your collar because you're spending, fake money, I'm still using fake money to buy fake money to get me real food. And the idiots, right away don't seem to understand that when you're using 90% of your brain and not the 10%, no one can, fuck with you. So guess what? What is the rules? Who's smarter? So think about it. So while you out here, you so-called white supremacy or white supremacists, and this is a female, okay? We're not talking about the males because I know how to deal with the males. That's why God gave me, big hands and gloves like this, to deal with people in the most extreme and harsh way, and I don't play around. Ain't none of that fighting, and then I let you go and we walk away. Nah, man, it's fight to the death, meaning I'm going to snap your bones, snap something, and walk away and let the cops come and clean it up. Cops know up north where I live at, we don't joke around. We don't play around, but we also know how to use our brain. If I can save myself every fucking penny as I'm, money coming out of my pocket, think about profit and loss. Run yourself like a goddamn business. I made $100, but fuck, I gotta pay $500 in bills. So think about that. Think about stretching your money for a long way. Think, man. You guys gotta learn your shit. I'm covering her name so you guys know it's actually an EBT card. So you guys not, but you guys see it's a full EBT card. I'm just not gonna turn it around in the front. You just saw the front, just the top. So don't go out here and be, one of these wise ass, popping your collar like, you got it like that. And in reality, you're in the same boat we're in. Because one of my closest friends, when I was very young, I used to watch him on TV. He's a great comedian. George Collins. Straight guy, straightforward, straight shooter, called it how he saw it. And the one thing he said, and it stuck with me, is no matter what we try to do, no matter how much we try to show, we're not part of that club. You go rub. Matter of fact, didn't you see Nancy Pelosi give the girl the elbow while she was doing the photo ops? See all these people, they come to our town promising all this fake, dream, dollar in a dream shit, and it's for them. That dream is their dream. They coming for your dollars. So you got to be wise and learn how to, roll with the punches with the system. So don't come out here being a wise ass thinking that, someone's using, one of these EBT cards and you're trying to clown them and you look like a fucking idiot. The person that, is around, I make money, sweetie. That whole bullshit of, me sitting back, I'm buying, I'm purchasing. I have purchasing power. And a lot of people don't seem to understand what purchasing power is. Your little $800, your $1,200 that you make, or $12,000 that you make a month, your whatever you're on that government subsidy, because this woman was old, so she's probably on Social Security, but she's still popping her collar. And even if you're on retirement, you're still getting Social Security money like that. So you're still popping your collar like a fucking moron. Understand the rules and regulations, because I'm retired and I know how much I get from my retirement. So, sweetie, it's not like, we're not out here, trying to survive. You're in the same boat I am. What is the difference is you think you're on the top class, like in the Titanic. You think you're on the upper tiers, but you're on the lower tiers because, again, you're not at that level yet. You need to understand where purchasing power is. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all these motherfuckers got purchasing power. What do? Don't they fill out applications for Uncle Sam? They don't spend their money. They go and they tell Uncle Sam, hey man, I want you to invest in me. This is what my ideas are, and this is what we're going to do. And Uncle Sam goes and invests. Where's your idea? Where's your way of thinking? Are you using that 10% of your brain, or are you using 90% of your brain? Because doctors, scientists, they all say, we only use 10% of our fucking brain. And I say like this to all these doctors and nurses scientists that tell us that we only use 10% of our brain. So one of the questions I always ask is, okay, if we use 10% of our brain, then who's in control of the other 90? And that's where I get them at. They look at me like, stumped, stupid. They can't answer that. Why? Because the reality is, if you only use 10% of your brain, then you're a fucking vegetable. You got to learn how to use the other stuff. You got to feed your brain the way you feed your body. You got to develop it. But you're out here walking around with ignorance, and then you popping your collar like you're the shit. And then someone else comes around and does, like what I'm doing right now, makes you feel that small, insignificant. And remember, when you think you're at a level, and because you're popping your collar because you got a little change in your pocket, a little shelling, I'm at a different level. We don't care about, the pocket. I have to convert my money into your money so that I can, do business out here in the United States. But when I leave the United States, I use my money everywhere I go. And that is king. What is God's money? The Lord's money? Metals. Commodities. When you learn how to use 90% of that brain and get yourself some, you begin to understand, holy shit, I've been, acting like a heathen and only using 10% of that brain and not using the 90%. So make sure when you try to clown someone that, all your ducks are in a row and you got, like Warren Buffett can clown me. I can take that. Bill Gates can clown me. There's someone out here in the streets within the same supermarket that I'm in, and you're trying to clown me? I already know where you're at. I'm only in your hood because I'm either working through your hood, I'm traveling through your hood. That's the only time I'm in your hood, because my hood is up north, way up north. So while you, popping your collar for the little house that you have, with your 1 acre or 2.5 acre, lot, I'm sitting on 8. And not only one lot, and there's a bunch, and there's 800 acres. So Don't ever judge a book by its cover. While you know, popping your collar like that, man, I'm helping my people to survive. Whatever scam that they're doing, man, it's not my fault. You bring me a bike that is stolen, I go to the police department and register that bike like I purchased it, show them receipts and everything. Now I'm become the owner, the legal owner. You got to learn how to use that 90% of that brain. When people do things like that and you got that power to do things, you better jump on it, man. Don't be one of these dumbasses that, you know, get caught out there. Because you look like ridiculous, man. That woman looked ridiculous. And mind you, her other friend was just laughing as I'm cracking on her. You know, because you want to whisper underneath your breath like a child. I'm a grown man. I'm not a child. I'm not like one of these little kids out here, you know, that speak underneath their breath. When you say something to me, you better say it to me close and up front and to my face. And you will understand what kind of man I am. I may respect you even more for doing that. But when you out there trying to clown me from a distance, whispering and all of that, I have no respect. I treat you like one of these dope fiends out here, man. There's no time for that. Things are moving very quick. August is right around. We're at the tail end, actually the beginning of our marketing period. So guess what? I'm ready to do some shit. We lay down the dirt, we lay down the brick, we lay down the concrete, we lay down the asphalt. What are you guys doing? You know, you first generation Americans, you know, popping your collar here, you know, like you the grand shit. And yet, you know, you bump into, you know, those that are like, has been here for eternity. They try to call us native, but we indigenous to these lands. You need to understand 90% of that brain. Don't come try to clown someone and you're working with 10% and the person you're trying to clown is working with 90%. Don't be that fool, because you're going to end up looking stupid. And I had to do it in front of everybody, so everybody saw, you know, how stupid that person looks. My skin color has nothing to do with whatever stupidity you want to do. You want to use your skin color? Well, guess what, sweetie? Euro trash. I'm just going to say it straight out, because all along the spine of America's, and mind you, my land starts from the bottom and works all the way to the top, from pole to pole. If you understand the spine of America, then you understand what I'm talking about. That reaches all the way up to the top pole, from the southern pole to the top. So use 90% of your brain, man, and understand things. Because if you're using that 10% of that brain, television, tell your vision is controlling 90% of that brain. Tell your vision to act like an idiot. Tell your vision that, you know, follow this. This is what you guys are doing, acting like idiots. So don't act like an idiot, because people will show you off, man. People that have done things while you out here thinking that the little shit you done, you know, is more important. We wipe our ass with your money. You take $100 bill and you put it between your cheeks and you clean yourself, so that way it doesn't stink. Because when you open your mouth, all you smell is the shit. Because that's why a lot of you guys went out and purchased all those toilet paper, was to cover the shit that was coming out of your mouth. They clowning you guys. We're laughing at this shit because we were watching them clown you guys. So think, use that brain, because we're out here using it. God gave us 100% of this brain. Might as well use it. Don't be like these heathens out here, you know, that are only using 10% of that brain, and then you're acting out here like you're the grand shit. You know, majority of these cops, you know, use that 10% of that brain, because what are they? Yes, sir. When I used to be in the service, I used to use that 10% of that brain, because why? Yes, sir. And then you start to think. As you grow up and, you know, go up in levels, go up in rank, you know, for those that play the video games, level up. You know, when I was growing up, the girls used to tell me, man, level up. So why not? I'm leveled up, but I don't see none of the females out here. The females that I see, around, they're like birds right now. You get a can of corn and you just throw it on the floor, and you see them all flock right there to that can and start back, and that's all they can do. No brains, all looks, but no brain. I'm looking for brain. I need someone with brain power. That's what I'm looking for. Someone that can stand right next to me. Or matter of fact, can be my co-pilot. And mind you, I don't care if I'm looking for natural. It has to be natural. None of that, hat wearing, none of that fake shit. I can't deal with fake people. Love natural women with natural brain. So think. Don't be like one of these morons out there. You're putting yourself in predicaments you shouldn't be in. But anyway, made it too long. It's supposed to be very short. But don't ever clown someone unless you want to be clowned on. Karma's a bitch. You never know what that other person is going to pull out, and all of a sudden you're looking like a fool. So I'm going to leave you guys. Enjoy your day. Be safe. We're dealing with all these leftist, ignorant, psychosis people out here, today, and there's a whole bunch of them that are only using 10% of that brain and not 90% of that brain. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Feed that shit because it's fucking hungry. And it's really hungry. It's starving. You starve this, you starve for everything else. Anyway, peace.